What is going on, my YouTube family? Welcome back to the Gaming Brigade, and today's build video, my friends, is one I've wanted to put together for a while. A lot of you have reached out to the channel asking me to highlight a build based around the Chameleon, and the reason for that is because many of you out there are still on the hunt for St. Elmo's engine, and you're wondering what can you use in the meantime that can put out a ton of damage. This is a weapon for you, my friends. Now, I do want to mention that I did record this footage a little while back during the Golden Bullet Global event, but you'll notice that the event is turned off because I did want to highlight this build without any events active whatsoever. Now, as always, we're going to start with the Specialization. You can see I'm using Gunner, and I'm using that for a multitude of reasons, but the main one is because when you have this Specialization equipped, you do have access to the Banshee Pulse. Now, depending on what I'm doing in the game, I will wind up equipping that skill at one point. It allows me to do that on the fly, and remember, regardless of which specialization you choose, you want to have the proper weapons activated in your weapon skill tree. That way you're getting a 15% weapon damage bonus regardless of which one you're using. My primary for this build is the Chameleon, needless to say, and this seems to be one of those exotic weapons that does drop on a pretty frequent basis. Let me know your luck in the comments section down below. Now, the reason this is so effective is because of its talent adaptive instincts. Hitting 30 headshots grants 20% crit hit chance and 50% crit hit damage for 45 seconds. Hitting 75 body shots grants 90% weapon damage for 45 seconds as well. And finally, hitting 30 leg shots grants 150% reload speed for 45 seconds. You can have all three of these running at the same time, and at the end of the build breakdown I will show you an example. My secondary is the rock and roll shotgun. However, you can use any secondary you want, my friends. It's totally up to you. Just put one of your favorite weapons there. That holds true for the sidearm as well. Now, moving on to the gear, you can see we're running 3 Striker, 1 Fenris, 1 Walker and Harris, and the Ninjabike backpack. Now, most of you know how this works, and one thing you've heard me say recently at the channel is that, in my opinion, this is a must-have exotic in the game. I recommend making this a priority to pick up if you don't have one as yet. Now, making our way to the mask, it is the first of 3 pieces of the Striker gear set, but because we are wearing the Ninjabike, we do get the 4-piece bonus. 2 pieces 15% weapon handling, 3 pieces 15% rate of fire, and 4 pieces Striker's Gamble. Weapon hits increase total weapon damage by 0.65%. It's going to stack up to 100 times, and I have posted different variations, some with using the Striker body armor and the backpack as well. And my goal is to stack crit hit chance and crit hit damage everywhere I can, but I also need to be aware of my percentages, which I will go over at the end of the video and explain why on this piece I have weapon handling instead of the ones that I just mentioned. That is going to take us to the body armor. It's the 1 piece of Fenris. And because of the Ninjabike, we get that assault rifle damage and we get that second brand set bonus as well, which is the reload speed. Now, you notice the middle attribute is headshot damage. Now, to be clear, I would much rather that be crit hit chance, but this is the best piece of Fenris I have for this build at the moment. We all know sometimes how the RNG gods laugh at you. You can also see I'm using the talent Obliterate, where critical hits increase total weapon damage by 1% for 5 seconds, stacking up to 25 times. Next, we have the holster. It's the 1 piece of Walker and Harris. Once again, with the Ninjabike, we get 2 brand set bonuses. Moving on to the knee pads and the gloves, they are the 2 final pieces of the Striker gear set. And once again, to be clear, I'm trying to stack crit hit chance and crit hit damage. As far as my skills are concerned, I'm using one of my favorite combinations in the game. We have the Crusader shield just in case things get sideways, especially as a solo player, and we have the Banshee Pulse as well. Now, at this point, I want to once again talk about the Chameleon. As you can see on screen, the first part of the talent reads that hitting 30 headshots grants 20% crit hit chance and 50% crit hit damage for 45 seconds. Now, in this game, that is an absolute lifetime. And remember, your max crit hit chance is 60. So ideally, you want your base crit hit damage to be around 40%. On this version, mine's at 46. It's a little bit high, but again, I use it as a solo player, so if I don't hit those headshots consecutively, having that extra crit hit chance can come in handy, but to be clear, you do not want it much higher than that. Now, the other thing I want to point out, as you can see on screen, there is a clear indication of when you are earning stacks in order to activate the talent and when they actually become activated. So when it's orange, you are building those stacks, and when it's white, they are fully activated. And once again, to be very clear, my friends, you can have all 3 running at the same time. Most of you know that one of my favorite aspects about putting these build videos together is the family that we have here at the channel. So as always, if you want to pass along any tips or tricks to new and returning players, please let me know, as the main goal is to help out as many people as we can. One final thing I'd like to mention really quick is, remember, my percentages, which you will see in a moment, are based on not only the gear I have equipted, but having a Shade Watch at level 1000. That is going to do it for this one, my friends. Thank you all for your amazing support of this channel. And on that note, I'm going to leave you with some gameplay footage. And for those of you that may have missed it, I did highlight one of my favorite live streams earlier today from the First Division game. I cannot believe it has been 8 years since that thing launched. So I will put a link to that in the video description down below. I sincerely appreciate the privilege of your time. And as I mention at the end of every one of these, if you happen to be new here, feel free to hit that subscribe or join button. If you enjoyed this, you could hit that like button as well, but most importantly, take care of yourselves, be kind to each other, and we will talk to you soon. Thanks again, everyone.
Keep an eye on that drone.
Target spotted, Sheriff. Your target. Got the target. Nice.
Medical assistance needed.
Looks like you earned yourself another bounty. Well done.